walk-off.
Every single time. Number 55, Bryce Elder, out to the center of the diamond to make his 7th start of the season. The first 6, the numbers, Frenchie, really good.
Tell you what, man, I know me and you are huge fans of Bryce Elder, and just the way over the years, the ups, the downs, All-Star 2 years ago, spending time in AAA struggling, and here he is, you know, really with Chris Sale been the 2 aces of this rotation. And people outside would probably look at Valdez versus Elder and say, it's a little mismatch. The way Bryce is throwing the ball right now, you feel very comfortable every time he takes the mound.
And hopefully that's the case here today again. This is the lineup that he's going to be facing. Is presented by Racetrack. McGonigle's having a nice series. A great start to the season. .333 is the 4th best batting average in Major League Baseball. So he'll lead it off for A.J. Hinch. Frenchie, what do you have for the Ford Keys today?
Well, for Bryce, just keep it rolling. Use that momentum you've had from this team and the energy in this crowd, and keep it rolling. And for Austin Riley, clear the head, all the metrics, all the numbers, everything. Do what you've done your whole career, which is go up, see the ball, and hit the ball.
And Austin Riley back at third base, hitting 5th tonight behind last night's hero, Matt Olson.
I don't want to talk too good about the Tigers, but I do have to say I love the unis today. Those jerseys are, with the old school, it kind of takes you back to that 80s Tigers team.
Yep, old Tiger Stadium. Yeah. 84 World Series champs, the last title for the Detroit Tigers. But while the Tigers have been so good in Motown, 10-2 at home, with the 2 losses here the last couple of days, they're just 5-14 on the road. It all adds up to being a game under 500. Kevin McGonigle digs in. Elder is ready. And away we go, right on time at 12:15 here Eastern in Atlanta. So the Braves winning game 1 of this series 5-2 yesterday. Of course, the Olson walk-off to win it 4-3 and set up a chance for a sweep here today for Atlanta. And also, Frenchie, to be now 10 series into the season, and the Braves are 9-0-1 in those series. Pretty incredible.
It's tough to do. I'm telling you, at the big league level, it's very tough to do.
Hasn't happened for the Braves since 1983. That's how rare it is.
I mean, think about this. As good as the Dodgers are this year, they've lost 2 or 3 to the Rockies, to the Marlins. I mean, it's very tough to win series.
But the Braves just stacking them up one after the next. Elder 2-2 pitch, and a little high.
Shocker, a 3-2 count.
We saw a lot of those with McGonigle.
McGonigle, yeah.
He's a tough customer to get. He's just 21, the rookie, but he's a good one. And then he'll do that. He'll foul off pitches. Well, it's early, but he is the very early favorite to win Rookie of the Year over there in the American League because of the numbers that he has put up. There hasn't been a Tiger position player to win Rookie of the Year since Lou Whitaker back in 1978.
Wow.
Now they've had a couple of pitchers win it. Verlander in 06, Michael Fulmer in 2016, but last position player Lou Whitaker. Looks like Elder's going to win the battle, though, as it is taken in by Dubon. Racetrack defense. Frenchie, we speculated yesterday. Saw Michael Harris grimace late with a quad. Going to give him a day off here.
Man, smart move. That day game like this. Give him an opportunity there. And, you know, good to get Mateo in there at shortstop today with Dubon moving to left field. Get him some ABs.
And again, what a luxury to have Dubon to be able to bounce him around infield, outfield. Great flexibility. Acuna running over to make the catch and stopping as he goes into the wall, and even a high five for the fan out there.
I laugh just seeing Ronald right there because it always happens to the outfield, man. You know, at 12:15, your body does not get loose like it does for those night games, and you could see Ronald start to run, and I guarantee at least 7 things cracked in his body right there. But at least now I'm sure he's like, you know what, now I'm loose and ready to go.
Spoken like a right fielder who knows what that is like. Did you ever have one like that, Frenchie, and you dropped it or you just didn't make the play correctly?
I probably didn't make the play. I never really dropped it, but yeah, I guarantee there's one like, man, I just can't get there. and you know, April's still not bad. When you get to August and you have one of these turnarounds, oh man,
you feel it.
It's the one day you're like, I wouldn't mind Skip not putting me in the lineup today.
Ronald coming in on this, but he's going to stop, and Colt Keith with a 2-out single.
And that's why I think we agreed Michael Harris getting the day off today was very necessary. Just, he's going too well at the plate right now. The last thing you want to do is him pull something, make it worse, and you miss him for an extended period of time. And that's the great news. When your team's playing well like this, you're able to give guys days off and say, just rest, get your body right.
Yeah, when you're 22-9 with the best record in baseball and going as good as the Braves are, increased flexibility.
Well, and that's what, you know, Bobby Cox did that so well back in the day, sometimes on Sunday, right? Give a couple guys that haven't got a lot of EBs, Farmer DH in the day, Mateo at short, and it keeps everybody going, right?
And as we mentioned, a couple Braves getting close to a return with Ha-Sung Kim starting his rehab assignment yesterday. He went 1 for 2 with a stolen base. And Murphy's bat has been heating up the last few in Gwinnett. And his return is imminent. His rehab assignment has to end by Monday.
I think we'll see him in Denver this weekend.
And then as we discussed yesterday, Frenchie, the decision of, okay, do you keep Heim in a third catcher? I think we both agree that's the likely scenario. See how it plays out. Well, that 3-0 misses. So Riley Green with a walk and 2 on here with 2 out in the first.
Torkelson came into the series 5 home runs in 5 straight games. Braves done a good job, 0 for 7 this series with just a walk.
And 3 strikeouts for Torkelson in this series as well. Ronald Acuna Jr. will settle under this out in right field. Couple of base runners, no damage done in the top of the first. Bravos coming up. Three fly ball outs at the top of the first. Now the Braves come to the plate. The lineup is brought to you by our friends at Racetrack. Acuna, Baldwin, Albies, and Olsen. And it was Albies and Olsen that provided all the punch yesterday for Atlanta in the 4-3 victory over these Tigers. And on the mound, it's a good one. 32-year-old veteran Framber Valdez, first year with the Tigers, Frenchie, on that 3-year, $115 million deal.
Yeah, one of the top arms on the radar for most teams this year. And after all those great years in Houston, his walks are a little bit higher than they've been in the past. He's going to come that hard sinker, man.
And he starts with a sinker. And Ronald hits it to the other right fielder, Carpenter. That leads us to our Racetrack defense. Vierling in center, Green out at left. Lee back at third today. McGonigal, Torres up the middle, and Jake Rogers back up for Dingler will get the start as the battery for Valdez. Yes, you get a heavy sinker, right? And what that does for Valdez, a ton of ground balls.
Yeah, that's what he's looking for. It's what's made him so successful, is even if he gives up a single or two, double play ball waiting to happen. So got to try to elevate that sinker.
Baldwin just continues
or
to
just
hit.
be Drake Baldwin.
It doesn't matter if it's a righty, if it's a lefty, if it's a star, if it's a guy that doesn't have a big name. Drake Baldwin just steps up there and hits.
It's getting to the point where some of these pitchers like Scuba last night, it's almost like they're saying, you know what, forget it, dude. I'm just giving you a first pitch heater. Get this at bat out of the way one way or the other. Not going to battle you for 8 pitches.
107 off the bat. And he hits everything so hard. Ozzie had the homer in the first inning yesterday, and then French, you pointed it out aptly so in the pregame, but he had the walk that set everything up for Matt Olson.
He did. We talk about it at times, right? Kenley Jansen, you saw Olson or Ozzie actually steal on the home run, but you know, Jansen doesn't want runners on. He's got to try to be quicker to the plate, and sometimes that, I think, can mess you up. And you saw that was an 0-2 cutter he threw to Matt. And I mean, it was center cut.
And you wonder for Jansen, 38 years old, he's had an incredible career, but that's 3 walk-off homers against him this year.
I don't know if A.J. Hinch said anything this morning or not, but you know, say Detroit got a 1-0 lead in the 9th. I'd be interested to see who comes in this ball game today.
Let's go back and look at Ozzie's homer in the first.
And you see Scuba, that was an 0-1 pitch, and he tried to come in, didn't get it in as far as he wanted. And Ozzie, again, we talk about this, never comes off that fastball, and he was ready for it.
And he is now riding an 11-game hit streak as the Braves' second baseman. 12-game hit streak. Back-to-back solid singles against the sinker of Valdez.
And that's, you know what, for kids watching at home right here, this is a perfect example. He had a 2-1 pitch. He got him to swing at that curveball out front, right? But what does Ozzie do? Does not come off the heater right here. He's prepared for 95, 96, and he gets it. Shoots it right back up the middle. Great piece of hitting.
And how good are the Braves going right now, folks? Well, Drake Baldwin with his single now has 40 hits on the year. That's the most in baseball. Ozzie always right behind him, just got his 39th hit of the year, second most in baseball. And now coming up to the plate is last night's hero, hit the walk-off homer, Matt Olson. And Matt Olson has the most extra base hits in the game right now at 22.
There's that slow curveball. That's what makes Valdez tough with that. That curveball sits at 77 to 79 with that 95 sinker.
And then he'll throw a changeup in there occasionally. That's it. Just a 3-pitch mix.
It's coming at you. I think for him, that sinker, though, can do so much. I've heard him talk in the past how he doesn't necessarily like the catcher setting up on corners, just kind of set up in the middle and let my sinker do its thing. Tim Hudson was that way.
He had some success with it.
Yeah.
That walk-off homer for Olson last night was his first walk-off hit as a Brave. Kind of hard to believe, but it was. 4th of his career. The other 3 came in an A's uniform. Bouncer stays fair. Olson is retired. Now you do have 2 in scoring position with Riley coming up.
Well, what was one of my keys?
Riley breakthrough.
Yeah, this would be a big boost for him right here to find a way to dump one of the outfield. And you know, when you're going the way he is right here, you look where Gleyber Torres is playing at second base. Look at that, up the middle. All you really have is Torkelson on the right side. You got that whole area here. Look for something down out over the zone and just shoot that hole right here. With Ozzie's speed, it'll score 2.
Riley, see the numbers, an 0 for 7 in this series, but a big spot here in the first inning. Gets that changeup.
And that's what Tarek Skubal got him the first at bat last night, through 2 or 3 of them.
And gets ahead of Riley 0-2. Another changeup on the second pitch. Seventh start of the season for Valdez in his first year with the Tigers after 8 seasons with the Astros. His 0-2 is popped out of play.
Valdez got away with a mistake too on that pitch. That curveball kind of hung.
Oh, got to be the first souvenir for the kid. I love it. Hold him up like Simba and the Lion King. That one went right by Dubon in the on-deck circle. Thankfully, it didn't hit him. All right, so 2 changeups and then 2 curveballs. That's been the sequence so far.
Yeah.
And he gets it. Goes back to the changeup. Braves strand 2. We're scoreless after 1.
Second inning, Braves going for the sweep over the Tigers to close out the homestand. And for Bryce Elder, he's making his 7th start of the season, and this is the 5th that has come on regular rest, guys. And Jeff, I know we were talking about before the game today, but for Bryce, a guy who was often used as that piece they could slot in anywhere and may have to pitch in less than ideal conditions, it's quite a sight to see the Braves orienting their rotation around making sure Bryce gets his 4 days of rest and no more.
Yeah, and I love that, Wiley, because everybody's built different, right? And Bryce is a sinker baller type pitcher. You start giving him 7-8 days, which last year and year before he was doing, quite frankly, right? They were setting it up to get these other guys, and Bryce kind of had to wear it wherever it was. And I think it's been big for him to stay on that where his arm doesn't get too fresh. I always use the thing, Tim Hudson threw game 1 of the playoffs in 05, my rookie year. Wiley, and in game 1 got hit hard here in Atlanta. Came back in game 4 in Houston, 3 days rest, and threw 7 innings and threw a gem. And he said my arm was a little fatigued and my ball moved more because of it.
Interesting. And look, Elder has been very vocal about, if he can, wanting to stay on regular rest. And Walt said, absolutely, that's what we're going to try to do. And right now it's paying dividends. And it pays dividends here as he gets 94 by Carpenter.
Well, and I think it just makes such a difference, right? I mean, look at this ball. It's got life to it. Usually that ball's down. Sometimes he can get it up like that, and against a guy like Carpenter, that's where you want to go to get that strike 3. But I think with Sale, with Strider coming back, you're going to want to take care of those guys. So it's great when you have a guy that says, hey, keep me in rotation. Give those guys extra days.
Strider will make his season debut on Sunday against the Colorado Rockies.
Hey, look, how's the weather supposed to be in Denver?
Good, but a little chilly at night. Good quarter zip weather.
Sweater vest.
Yeah, I might bring my parka. We'll be ready to rock and roll. Longest road trip of the year when you factor in the off day in LA. So the Braves will go Rockies, then Mariners, and then the Dodgers.
Seattle going to be nice?
Yeah, but you got a roof there, so. But it's going to be same where the temperatures are at night low 60s.
Yeah.
A little breeze. I'll take it.
Then LA will be 78 and sunny.
It's like rinse and repeat every day.
It's like another perfect day.
As a player, Frenchie, this is a long road trip, but 3 pretty good cities. You like a trip like this at this time of year?
I like the trip early in the season. Yeah. Absolutely.
You'd rather have it now than later.
Oh, yeah. Guys are fresh, don't mind traveling. They've been, home, spring training, so they've been doing that. So you don't mind it April, May. August, the late August, that's the killer.
That's when it gets you. Yeah. That is in there.
Oh, yeah, he challenged it. That's a great challenge.
That is going to be strike 3. This challenge is presented by T-Mobile. And no question about it.
I almost look at it the other way. If I'm Matt Beerling, I'm thinking, holy crap.
How did that get by?
How did I not know that ball's right down the
Yeah.
pipe?
Back-to-back strikeouts for Elder. This time a little frozen pizza for Vierling. And now the batter, Hao-Yu Lee. Other thing for Elder, you know, people might not realize this. You go back to 23. This is his 76th start since then. That's the most for any Braves pitcher. So even with all the up and down from AAA over the last 2 years for Elder, he has made the most starts of any Brave over the last 3+ years.
And you know, you think for years he had options. I remember Snit telling us a lot of the time. I always told him, when you got options, you don't really have options.
That's an interesting thought from Snit, and I guess true, right?
Yeah, when you can go up and down and another guy can't, you got to put him on the waiver wire. You don't really have any options.
And he was, because of that, always the odd man out. They would say to him, look, we don't want to send you down, but it's a game of options, and you're the guy.
A lot of great quotes from Snit, right?
Well, he's not going to strike out the side, Elder, but it looks like it's going to be a nice 1, 2, 3, top of the second. Last night's walk-off through the lens of C.J. Nitkowski's iPhone. It's our trip around the bases, brought to you by Destin Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Even though he was idle yesterday, brought the family to the park and captured this beauty.
You know, CJ, put the phone down and have a beer. You know, just relax.
Maybe he had the beer in the other hand.
Now, if he had that, then I'm okay with it.
He was up early this morning baking sourdough bread. He's locked in, locked and loaded, our guy. We back with us on the road trip. CJ, don't miss the bird. The bird's going to take off about 90 minutes after the game ends.
With or without you.
Be ready.
Yeah, isn't it funny watching Dubon hit that back foot? It's like Scotty Scheffler, man. It just flies off and you're like, how are you doing this?
I was just going to say the same thing. When you watch him, does that remind you of anybody outside of Scotty Scheffler?
Works for him all right.
Yeah, when he makes contact, it almost looks like he's going to fall over.
Yeah.
The way that back foot bails out. That one hits him. Curveball gets away from Valdez. So guys that were teammates in Houston.
I was going to say, Dubon just looked at him, and I'm sure Valdez is saying, if I wanted to hit you, I'd have come 96. Look at him laughing.
Those guys know each other very well from their last 4 seasons together there with the Houston Astros, and Valdez not very happy with himself.
Off the back of the bottom part of the foot.
And now Kyle Farmer getting the start today. 1 for 3 in the series. He did come off the bench on Tuesday night for Dom Smith and had a hit in 3 trips. And through the right side. He saw that hole with Torres playing up the middle. Farmer takes advantage. 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, and that's sometimes where you get a veteran hitter, right? Not trying to do too much. Sees that hole over there. Knows what Valdez is trying to do.
Good piece of hitting by the 35-year-old veteran Kyle Farmer, and now Mateo getting the start today at shortstop. Corner infielders creeping in, but no bunt right there for Mateo.
I thought you might see one. Maybe you see one here. Take a chance. Trying to sneak out a couple runs here in the bottom part of the order, which is what the Braves been doing so well all year.
Now the only team that has produced more RBI from the 7, 8, 9 spots, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Mateo hits it in the air high towards green. Everybody stays put. Dubon bluffed like he was going to go, but he does not. All three hitters in this inning, Valdez has been ahead of them 0-2. He ended up hitting Dubon. Farmer singled. Mateo on an 0-2 pitch flies to left, and now Eli White gets ahead 1-0. Lined, but foul off the bat of Eli White. Look at our Truist leaderboard. Braves' biggest division lead after the month of April, with today being April 30th. And they're going to set the new record because they're currently up by 7.
Let's try to do a little bit of what 98 did or 2023. Just run away.
Would it be nice to be on cruise control come August? White rips it out to left center. Dubon is being waved home, and there will be no throw. 1-0. Atlanta leading it on the White RBI single.
Funny enough, you just got done talking about it, Brandon. That sinker's up. That's the one you want right there, but this bottom part of the lineup just keeps flipping it over to the top. Hit by pitch, 2 singles here.
And the 9th spot in the order, Eli White getting that start today for Harrison Center. And he makes Valdez pay. And now Acuna. Goes after the changeup 0-2. Now, thinking of the division lead, the other thing is the largest division lead through the end of April in the history of Major League Baseball was a 9-game lead by the Mariners, who had that historic regular season in 01. But if the Braves win today, they'd be up 7.5 because the Marlins are idle. And that would be the second biggest division lead through the end of April in the history of Major League Baseball.
And who would have thunk it when you think about the Mets and Phillies and what they did, the moves, the amount of money spent.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could have predicted the combination of things that have gone on in the NL East. Also would have never thought Rob Thompson would be out of a job. Did that hit Acuna? He says it did.
He's taking everything off, so I'm pretty sure he's confident in this one.
But there was no signal.
They're going to review it.
And A.J. Hinch, they don't want to review it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right off the top of the foot.
The call on the field is no hit by pitch. Atlanta is challenging.
Okay, so you saw Detroit. Everyone was confused. Detroit's like, no, we don't want to challenge it, but it was not called on the field a hit by pitch, so the Braves do have to challenge here.
Oh, yeah, you can see the ball change direction too. This one should not take long. Pretty clear cut, and I don't think there's a lot of other 12-15 Wagos going on today.
No, I think it's quiet right now in the New York replay room.
Unless they had to wake the guys up.
Yeah, like, hey,
that's the other problem.
Guys, there's an early start today. But this should clearly load the bases here for Baldwin. By the way, speaking of the Phillies, they're losing again right now, 2-0 in the first inning to the Giants. So that's the other game going on right now.
They got a double dip today.
Yes. couple double dips in the Northeast from rainouts yesterday.
I don't know why it's taken so long. I mean, it is very clear
Yeah.
it hits the foot and ricochets into the glove.
Alan Porter, the crew chief. Home plate umpire today, Roberto Ortiz. Here's the announcement.
After review, the call on the field stands. The batter was not hit by the pitch. He will return to bat.
What in the world?
Him.
I mean, the only justification would be that they did not have this view right here.
They have to have that view. The only justification for me is they're not awake.
I don't understand.
You can the other side you can clearly see. I mean that one, but even the other one, you can clearly see the ball
Changes directions. Yeah, it's slight, but it's there, and it's very visible. Huh. Let's file that under perplexing. Party of one.
I'm very confused.
So a 2-2 count. Runners back to first and second. Well, maybe Ronald will park it in the seats and all will be forgiven. Or maybe he'll walk. He is in the midst of a 20-game on-base streak that he extended yesterday with a walk in the 8th inning. But he strikes out here, so just unfortunate for Acuna and the Braves. Because you were going to have Baldwin with the bases loaded and 1 out.
It's a big break for the Tigers.
First pitch, that one's going to go foul. Baldwin singled to right last inning. He tried to hold up, he could not, and he's down 0-2. Wiley, did you find something out on that review?
Yeah, I just gave the replay operations center a call, and they essentially said they felt like they didn't have definitive evidence, and that if the call had been hit but pitch on the field, it wouldn't have been overturned either.
Which I understand that, but it looked pretty definitive from those. When you pair those two looks together. Runners will stay here.
Are we sure there's actually people in the room, Wiley?
I am confident. I am confident they have people in the room.
Or was it AI?
I spoke with one of them.
Phone?
Well, you know, AI is actually moving along pretty well. So I guess, you know what, Frenchie, give me a moment.
Ask them something they won't know.
Who's Jeff Francoeur?
Touche.
It was all funny until Baldwin struck out. The Braves do get a run, though. Area Audi dealer today. Brandon Frenchie and Wiley here on getaway day. Braves on top 1-0. Certainly we're hoping for more against Valdez there in the second. But the surprising non-overturn of the call, and then Acuna and Baldwin struck out to end the inning. Elder back to work. Jake Rogers, the strong stash.
It's the best in the game, I think.
Next to Peter Moylan.
Peter's is just different, right?
Got to hang on to the
look
handlebars.
At that thing, man. I mean,
yeah. That's a grizzled veteran right there.
If that doesn't scream sheriff and somewhere in Texas, I don't know what does.
Jake Rogers was the starting catcher. Then Dingler kind of unseated him, and now he's the backup there in Detroit. He is from Canyon, Texas, so it does fit. But the Sheriff is going down on strikes. The slider gets him. Third K for Bryce Elder.
Great pitch.
Couple of Texas boys squared off there. Elder with a third strikeout. He's a native of Decatur, Texas, just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I mean, there's a lot going on there. I don't think you get a couple bits of food just stuck in there for days.
Country gravy in the morning games.
I think that was in the clubhouse spread this morning. Yeah.
One of those coffees, depending on what kind he gets. Foam.
Top of the order, McGonigal. "13-game hit streak right now for this rookie. 37th pick back in the 23 draft by the Detroit Tigers. Check down, but no, according to Will Little.
And here we are in a 2-2 count.
I'm guessing he's going to foul this pitch off.
Foul it, or it's going to be a ball. Get to full count.
There you go. He's already getting the reputation as a guy that hitters just don't like to face.
Well, and you think about this, A.J. Hinch is a big matchup guy, right? It's tough to come in his lineup and just say, here you are, you're either going to hit leadoff or third. And I don't care who's pitching.
It is indeed a full count. Payoff from Elder. Close, but a touch low. And the second free pass that Elder's given up today.
Man, and that's where he's so good. I mean, that ball was so close, and he just took it. More for me, how do you lay off that pitch?
Yeah. 23 full counts this season for McGonigal, and it feels like half of them have been in this series. Now Torres.
Oh, ground ball double play right here. Thinking a little 6-4-3.
Interestingly, Elder hasn't had a ball hit on the ground today, usually his specialty, until now, but that one gets through. Good thought, Frenchie, but Torres singles.
He executed the pitch right there. It just was in the one spot that 5-hole between Riley and Mateo.
Well, the Tigers had 2 on in the first, didn't get anything home. See if Elder can get out of the jam here in inning 3. DH Colt Keith in his 3rd year in the bigs takes a pitch up and in. Another one of those guys that signed a big extension before his debut back in January of 24. Signed a 6-year $30 million deal. Grounder, Olsen backing up. Only play at first. 2 away.
It's a good play by Matt too, because that, let me tell you, that's a tough ground ball. That had a lot of topspin coming at it, so you could see Matt even back up a little more just to make sure here. You'll see that ball sometimes right here on that just kick. Did a good job making sure you get that one out and give Bryce a chance to get out of this inning.
Got to get through the cleanup man, Riley Green, who walked in the first. He had his 4th homer of the season yesterday. 3 of those have come in the last week for Green. Comes up hacking.
Well, and I know Bryce, look, doesn't want to put him on, But this is still a situation where you don't have to give in right here. You got first base open with the righty Torkelson on deck. Not saying pitch around him, but don't give him anything really good for him to drive.
Well, he gets ahead of him 0-2. They went a little higher with a four-seam fastball. Riley Green, who won his first Silver Slugger last year with a 36 homers, over 100 driven in. He's down 0-2. Elder tries to get him to go after a slider. But he also led the American League last year in strikeouts. See if Elder can get him here. 2-2 now. Two on, two out, 2-2 pitch. Elevated fastball and fighting it off. Green still has life for the Tigers.
Trying to give him a chase at that upstairs pitch. He just keeps getting a little bit to foul it off.
Try to go even higher on the ladder. As Frenchie mentioned, you've got Torkelson, the right-handed hitter, on deck. Pitch number 8 of the at-bat from Bryce Elder to Riley Green. He struck him out. Slider to end the frame, and the Tigers strand 2. 201 strikeouts last year for Green, and that's a big one. Elder getting. Third inning brought to you by Audi. Experience the all-new Audi Q3 at your local Atlanta area Audi dealer. Well, Bryce Elder, he's dealt with traffic, but both times he's gotten out of the jam, and it remains 1-0 Atlanta.
Both these guys have had traffic today, but they've been able to make the pitches.
And both teams have already left 4 on base. Framber Valdez, of course, no stranger to the Braves. Had 2 starts against them in the 2021 World Series, games 1 and 5. Braves hit him good in that World Series. Just not enough room over there for Torkelson. Almost like he was fooled how close that came to the field.
Did that hit the net or not?
Yeah, I think it did.
It did?
But I think he thought it was going into the seats. There are the numbers from the World Series. 10 earned runs, 4 homers allowed, including a big Adam Duvall grand slam.
That was that Halloween night one where the Braves raced off to that big lead and the Astros came back to clip them.
And you look at the 2 starts he's made in the regular season against the Braves, 1 in 23 and 1 last year in 25, and the Braves hit him decently well in both of those games also. Ozzie with a single in the first. This is home run distance, but Ozzie's ahead of him. Ozzie is in a groove right now, though.
He's seen it well.
Hit his 6th homer of the season on Tuesday, his 7th yesterday, and he's 1 for 1 today. He is going to be 2 for 2 if that stays fair. It does. Takes a friendly kick for Ozzie. Stand-up double.
It's amazing from this side of the plate how many balls he just fouled off. Weren't even great pitches. Look at this ball. It almost hit home plate. It's kind of surprised Valdez never tried something away to try to get soft, weak contact to right field.
Yeah, Ozzie fouls off 5 pitches, and then he goes down and golfs that down the line for a double. Matt Olson is our Georgia Natural Gas Greener Life Impact Player after the walk-off homer yesterday. Most extra base hits before May, and Matt and Ozzie from 2018 at the top of the list with 22.
He's got to take the lead today, right?
Well, Ozzie's was from 2018, so Matt could take the lead with another.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
oh yes,
for the overall.
Yeah. So let's get a single or a double, triple, or homer here, Matt.
Double or homer.
More likely.
Yeah, we don't need him.
If he gets the right kick off the brick wall in right center,
he's got a shot.
It's happened before. Fooled on the curveball by Valdez. This one is going to trickle foul down that first base line. Keep it 2-2. 17 foul balls for the Braves today. They have been making Valdez work.
I was going to say they fouling off a lot. Already 54 pitches and not even have an out here in the 3rd.
Valdez gets him. He doesn't throw that slider much.
No. I think like you, all these foul balls, he's figuring I got to try something else instead of throwing that curveball and letting him recognize it more. It's not a bad pitch. Surprised he doesn't throw it more sometimes.
He's thrown less than 10 of them this season, but that worked to get Olson. That pitch did not work. Changeup slipped out of his hand, and Ozzie gets to third base. Well, that was a gift.
His foot slipped. All right, turn around looking at the mound. Now they're going to bring the infield in here. So another situation. It's all in the first. Austin Riley had a chance with 2 outs. Here it's 1 out. So need anything in the outfield. Broken bat bleeder. Just those good vibes. Get something going.
Long discussion here between Jake Rogers and Roberto Ortiz. Whatever that was about, everything is settled. 1-0 pitch here to Austin Riley. That first at bat, Austin saw all curveballs and changeups.
And there was changeup first pitch, curveball there. So he's yet to see a fastball.
Until a changeup again. 1-2. And it looked like he went. Now they'll have to throw down to first here. They do. And Riley, 2 strikeouts, so his frustrations continue, and now it'll be up to Mauricio Dubon. A message here from Alpha Insurance.
No matter what life throws your way, we'll be there knocking it out of the park, getting you back home safe and sound. That's life with Alpha Insurance.
Dubon last inning got hit by a 1-2 pitch from his old teammate Framber Valdez and came around to score the only run of the game. Before being in Houston the last 4 years, 4 seasons with the Giants for Dubon, and now first year in Atlanta. Liner and an RBI hit for Mauricio Dubon off his old teammate Framber Valdez to make it 2-0.
Let me tell you how big that is. You want to talk about just a killer for a guy like Valdez, who's kind of a workhorse ace, to strike out Olsen, strike out Riley, and all you need is one more, and you give up that 2-out RBI, man. It is tough.
No doubt a huge 2-out RBI hit, and then Farmer grounds out, but the Braves double their lead. After 3, it's 2-0. There's artist Brian Steely. He helped design the Braves Country Fest poster that you're seeing right there. And that's going to be with Cody Johnson, Ella Langley, Ernest, and Mackenzie Carpenter, June 13th at Truist Park, all benefiting the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Presented by Truist. Bryce Elder back to work. He's facing Torkelson, Carpenter, and Vierling with a 2-0 lead now here in the 4th inning. How's that Chick-fil-A milkshake going down?
It's good. Good spot.
Oh, it's the Oreo one.
Yeah. Oh, cookies and cream.
Man. If I finish this, I might be asleep, though.
I'll bring it some.
I was going to say, you might have to land the plane. Now, because of the way that these hitters have battled on both sides and there have been base runners, both guys with a little bit of an elevated pitch count. Not too bad for Bryce, 57.
Yeah. He's still on pace to at least give you 6.
Such a great start to the year. That sub-2 ERA, 3-1 record for the 26-year-old. He'll turn 27 in a few weeks on May 19th. Solid single there for Torkelson, his first hit of the series.
.107 off the bat. That ball was smothered.
Let's take a look at our Toyota Trend feature. Like today, the Tigers have had runners on in this series, but in these spots, Braves pitching has been able to bounce back.
See that 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position this series for the Tigers. And again, this was a team that had left Cincinnati just lighten up the scoreboard.
But a game under 500 after losing the first 2 in this series. That one found the bat of Carpenter. O'Reilly looked at second, but just takes the safe out at first.
Yeah, that was smart of Austin right there. He probably could have got him at second, but the way you see him charging this ball, he's going to have to throw it across his body. Man, the last thing you want to do is sail that one in the outfield, and now you got first and third, second and third. You shut that down, and you give Bryce. He's been able to make the pitches when he's needed to. You give him that chance.
Matt Vierling, he's going to be seeing more time in center field. They first had the injury to Parker Meadows, and now Javier Baez was injured in game 1 of the series. So Vierling another start today. Right center, pretty well struck, but Acuna is able to get there on the track. 2 down, and Torkelson was on his way to third. He retreats to second.
You know, that ball was struck pretty well right there, but the one thing, Ronald had a great angle on this ball. Give him a lot of credit. You'll tend to see outfielders sometimes try to cut across. Ronald knew that ball was carrying a little bit, and he angled himself towards that Georgia Power sign out there. And, of course, the ball's tailing right back to him. Good play.
Just as you're schooled to do there as a right fielder?
Absolutely. I mean, especially when you're talking about reading balls like that and knowing if it goes more across, that ball's going to keep carrying, and then you're turning. So he took that angle, turned into pretty routine play.
Big second out. Another chance for Ronald, and this one a little easier. So leadoff single, but still a 0 for the Tigers. It's May 17th for our next Kids Club Day. Our very own Wiley Ballard's going to be leading a kids-only scorekeeping class, and the first 3,000 kids through the gates receiving the Braves sunglasses giveaway. Go to Braves.com/kids to get in on the action. Call me Ferris Bueller. I'm skipping school. I like that sign.
I like it. Just let them know.
Yeah. And we're ready for Kids Day on May 17th.
I'm liking this, seeing a little more clear.
Honestly, I'm not kidding at all. I might keep wearing these because it's taking the glare away.
It's a good look on you, too.
That's debatable. You're pulling them off better, Pop. A little Goose and Maverick action up here in the booth.
Need him tonight on the mound.
Wait a second. You got a kids game tonight? What's going on?
We got a softball game, 6 o'clock.
Diamond Dogs?
No. My 7-year-old daughter.
Do you want to share day game 4th inning? I feel like it's a good time for you to share the story of you being ejected from a youth flag football game recently. No, okay.
No. You can go on the internet and find it. I told the story. I don't need to relive it again.
Get on Instagram. Is it on your account or the podcast?
I think it's on Pure Athlete.
Pure Athlete. Yeah.
It's a good one. I don't think I reposted that one. Sorry, not collabing.
It's worth 1 minute of your time. Mateo goes fishing at that curveball from Valdez. Well, for Valdez's struggles, he does have 6 strikeouts today.
It's funny, most of the hits he's given up has been on that fastball today, so you're starting to see a lot more of those curveballs. Saw that slider to Olsen.
Eli White had an RBI hit off of Valdez in the second. He shows bunt there. Walt's got his shades on today.
Yep.
You know, Walt said something yesterday that resonated with me, Frenchie. He said, look, if you're going to have a good team, the good teams that I've been a part of, whether it's a player or on the bench, you have to steal some games during the season. He said in a good year, you look back, you feel like there are 10 or 12 games where maybe we shouldn't have won that, but we did. And he said one of those potentially last night.
Yeah, well, and especially you're facing Skubal like that, and you won the first night. Again, if you're the Tigers, right, you're coming to the series and you have Casey Mize, Tarek Skubal, and Framber Valdez, you're feeling good about maybe taking 2 or 3, giving the Braves their first loss. And White gets beat by the heater there, and now all of a sudden you're sitting in the 5th inning or bottom of the 4th, and you've lost 2 and you're down 2-0. And it's kind of showing you what this team. I just think everything that went wrong last year, this team was not talked about in the second half, and it's almost like people forgot how the run that had been going on. And now these guys are back and they're having solid years, and you're seeing it. Again, I go back, Braves had the 2nd best odds going into last year to win the World Series behind the Dodgers.
When you start 0-7, things get off the tracks and never really got back on.
Exactly. Sometimes things are going to go kind of crazy. I mean, think about that first road trip. You were 0-7. They're 22-9 right now.
Feels a little bit different.
Yeah.
2 balls and 1 strike here to Acuna. Yeah, no question the schedule was a little friendlier. It's a combination of things. And the Braves simply just played better, obviously, at the start of this year.
Yep.
You factor all that together. And what a beginning. Say beginning, although the 20% of the season is pretty much over at this point. Valdez gets his first 1-2-3 frame. No one's to the ballpark here on a Thursday afternoon.
They get a little third inning through fifth inning nap, and then they wake up and they're ready to see the win.
And the Braves on track right now for the sweep, up 2-0. Elder helped his pitch count last inning after giving up a leadoff single. He got 3 outs and 5 pitches. Now he faces 9-1-2.
And you want to keep it down with Gonical on deck. You know he's going to see at least 8.
He walked again back in the third. One in the air towards Riley. He'll head over to foul ground and take it. Racetrack fueling up feature. How about this? Most games back in any division at the top. The Mets, the Phillies, the Nationals, and then right there the Marlins.
It's unreal. 4 of the top 5, 4 of the 5 teams right here because of what the Braves have been able to do in the start.
And the Phillies and Red Sox already under new management. Rob Thompson gone in Philly. And I just, if you would have told me both Thompson and Cora would be gone by the time May rolled around, I wouldn't have believed you at the start of the year.
And you look, we can go in 100 different ways whether you agree with it or not, but there's that other team up there in New York that
think it could be happening again.
You know how it goes, man. The dominoes fall, the media gets involved, they start writing articles, and
yeah, I think one does tend to lead into the next, right? Maybe the Alex Cora firing, and then Dave Dombrowski obviously has history with Alex Cora and offered him the Philly job after he was let go of Boston. But you wonder if that had impact on the Phillies and their decision.
Well, I think eventually that word's going to get out, right? And if you're going and seeing if another guy is going to manage your team or would accept the job while you still have another manager, it's dead man walking. You might as well get rid of him. I'm sure Rob Thompson will tell you the same thing. I don't want to be here if you're out talking to other guys about taking this job.
Don Mattingly, the bench coach, is the one who ends up sliding over as the interim manager there in Philadelphia. By the way, Elder did make quick work of McGonigal this time, so
I think he finally just threw him down the middle and he popped it up.
Maybe that's the recipe for success. Ronald Acuna sprints toward the line. He's not going to get to this. He will fire a dart to second. They got him! A rocket from Ronnie and right to get Torres, who was hoping to stretch it into a double.
Oh, and him and Torres are good buddies. He's looking at him going, why in the world would you go?
Had to feel pretty sweet for Ronald.
Man, there's nothing better when you get a buddy too. And Ronald's done that enough now as an outfielder. You kind of time it, and you get that ball, you see where the runner's at, and obviously it takes a strong throw, accurate throw. But I think Ronald knew when he let that go, that's got a shot.
Longtime friends. They won the World Baseball Classic together this year for Venezuela. Torres born December of '96 in Venezuela, and then Ronald came along a year later in December of '97. So a couple of quick innings for Elder, and now Baldwin leading off the bottom of the 5th.
Both these guys have kind of settled in all of a sudden now.
That's 8 strikeouts for Valdez. All right, let's see that again, Frenchie. It's our defensive play of the game presented by CarShield.
Again, you're able to pivot off that back foot. And that's what gets all this behind the throw. And good job by Mateo going to that back right there. If he tries to go for the foot, he's safe. But kind of slaps him in the back when he slides.
Sharply hit. Well, Torres flashing a little leather himself at second base.
Yeah, nice play. Ozzie, though, 3 great at-bats today. Another ball squared up.
Yeah, single in the first, double in the third, and then that hard ground out here in the 5th for Albies. So as a right fielder, Frenchie, when you're making that play like Acuna did, when you get to that ball, do you right away?
You want to one-hop that because you got to keep it low, right? You get any elevation or balloon on that ball, you're not going to get them. And you give that guy a shortstop time to, if it is off a little bit, he can maneuver himself. But you love that good one long hop. You know, when you're charging the ball, it's a little different. But when you are kind of throwing flat-footed like that.
Yeah, that perfect late bounce with a hard skip. And like you said, a wonderful tag from Mateo.
Well, you always teach to even little league kids, like, always miss down, right? You have the ability, that ball comes in quicker. You don't miss the cutoff guy. Whenever you see that ball balloon and go up, you're like, oh, not a lot of good things happen.
A lot of good things have happened for this guy, Matt Olson, this year, but he's 0 for 2 today. Spiking the slider, Valdez, 3-2. So Matt's first walk-off homer yesterday since July of 2020 with the A's. He hits this pretty deep out to right center, but not deep enough. And that is 7 in a row retired by Valdez.
Braves in position for a potential sweep here on Getaway Day at Truist Park. One of the reasons for that, the work of Bryce Elder so far this afternoon. Now he will begin this 6th inning facing the left-handed hitting Colt Keith. And guys, when you trace back the start of Bryce's great run from September up until now, a lot of it has to do with the way he has changed his pitch mix against left-handed hitting as he gets Keith to pop one up here. But he's been relying much more on the four-seam fastball and cutter combination in that time than he has the sinker. And Bryce says the four-seamer really helps him keep his line against those opposite-handed hitters and ensures that he's going to be able to locate his cutter on the inner third as well as command his slider.
Hey, you know what, Wiley, whatever he's doing, keep doing it, right? Whatever works, but he has been sharp. And just when we were sitting there talking, and to show you how economical he can be, we were kind of saying, maybe he gets through 6 today. Now here he is at 74 pitches, 75 right there. And now you're looking, man, get us through 7.
Well, before Green came to the plate, Elder's last 15 pitches had produced 7 outs. You can't be much more economical than that. And Wiley mentioned that cutter coming into today. He had used it 63 times and all to lefties. That has really been a good pitch and a good combination of pitches for Elder to the southpaws.
Well, the four seam to lefty is not a bad idea, especially if you can live kind of a little bit up. You're obviously not going to stay there. But you get a sinker sometimes to those left-handed hitters. You give them Billy, just drop the bat head on it, shoot it the other way. When the ball's a little bit up, they have to get on top of that pitch to be successful.
He's thrown 3 4-seamers to Green here. And he throws another one and just misses. Three walks for the Tigers hitters today, 2 of them now by Riley Green. And Torkelson to the plate.
French, you mentioned that four-seamer to lefties. I thought this was interesting, too. I talked to Drake Baldwin, and he feels like for a lot of guys, if they can locate that glove side four-seam fastball, it can help them recapture some of their other pitches. You know, we saw that in the third inning of Chris Sale's last start when he ran into trouble. He talked about how critical it was to have that four-seam fastball trying to get his release point mechanics back in line.
You know, Wiley, you've heard it for years, but I mean, you have to have a fastball to pitch in this league. And when those guys, you know, get lost, I think to get back on that pitch.
Liner here for a single for Torkelson.
You know, too many guys get worried about spinning the ball and doing this, but if you can't throw a fastball, locate it, and get ahead, you're going to struggle in the big leagues. And I think, like you said, for Bryce, if you can hit that outside corner, even up a little bit with that four-seamer, you force guys to get on top of the ball, because if they don't, you get the weak fly ball, you get what you want. If it's a sinker down, you know, like you said, much more ability for those lefty hitters to just shoot the ball the other way and ground ball, line drive.
Well, you got another one from that side here in Kerry Carpenter. They're starting to move around in the Braves bullpen. Nobody is throwing yet, though.
Well, this is the one guy in the lineup, right, that's kind of been their thump guy at times. Kerry Carpenter's had some big home runs. Bryce got him chase fastball up the first time and then got him that check swing to Austin Riley last at bat.
Tries to slap it down the left field line. Thankfully for the Braves, that one goes foul. All right, what a burger, what a play. Continuing the discussion on Bryce Elder. So as of right now, among qualified pitchers, lowest ERA in the National League, and Chris Sale a couple spots down. But some work to do here in the sixth with a 2-0 lead. One. There's nothing you can do with that cutter outside of just foul it off. So he's thrown 2 of those to Carpenter, and again, that cutter, that's the pitch that he's only used to those lefties. See what Elder comes with here. He strikes him out with 93 at the top of the zone.
And funny enough, that's the pitch Wiley was just talking about. He got him thinking cutter in, and then he rode that ball up and away with the four-seamer, and you see, beats him the spot. If that ball's down by the kneecaps there, Carpenter can shoot that or at least foul it off. But with the velocity and where that is, you're going to get most of your swing and miss right there. And again, you can't live there, right? You can't. Bryce doesn't throw hard enough to just say, I'm throwing 3 top of the zone balls. They're going to make the adjustments. But when you pitch the way he's pitching, right? Cutter in, fouled off, you sped him up a little bit, and then rode away. Beautiful sequence.
And now his 87th pitch today is low to Matt Vierling, who's 0 for 2.
It's like what Wiley used to do at Westminster right there. Just
carved him up.
Carved guys.
Yes. To right field, Acuna will charge, but he'll have to take it off the bounce. Comes up firing home. He did everything he could, but Green will score, and the Tigers on the board.
It's funny, Matt Vierling last time hit that hard ball that Acuna made the nice play. This one, he got the weak contact. And with 2 outs, the runner's going right away, so Ronald never really had a chance of this. In fact, bare-handed it.
That'll bring Jeremy Hefner to the mound after this run comes home for the Tigers, and you've got the tying run at second base. It's like Aaron Bummer is starting to throw for the Braves. So Hao Yu-Lee is the batter with runners at first and second. He swings out of his shoes and fouls it off. Just the 10th big league game for the rookie Hao Yu-Lee, a native of Taiwan. Just the 19th player in Major League Baseball history to hail from Taiwan. And that one is going to go fair. And a gift there for Elder and the Braves to end the top of the 6th. Tigers get 1, Braves by 1. On any device for less than 70 cents a ball game. One guy we are happy to have part of Braves.tv and Braves Vision, D-Dub David White, who is our producer for this series. He was with us in a previous life as a coordinating producer and now filling in this series for Gretchen, and certainly happy to have D-Dub on our team.
Yes, we are.
Brent Christan, our director, right next to him. The rest of our crew bringing you today's telecast here on a gorgeous Thursday afternoon at Truist Park.
Come on, Austin.
2 strikeouts today as he tries to break out of this slump. Tigers bullpen is empty. Valdez at 87 pitches.
There you go. Laid off changeup, laid off the curveball. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a heater right here, but look, you're going to get something more elevated and a chance to drive it. Forget just a blooper. Why don't you bridge one right here?
He did get a sinker. He does stay away from it. He's got a hitter's count. Framber Valdez, 8 strikeouts. He's retired the last 7.
And then see, that's just how, when things don't, you're not going great, you get a 3-1, it's painted down in the zone. Pitch you can't do a whole lot with.
Payoff from the lefty. And Riley gets a curveball and skies it. Glasses on out there in right field for Carpenter. Quick message from Zaxby's.
Zaxby's just dropped a whole new line of dry rubs, and they're not playing around. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Maybe the thin air of Colorado will be what the doctor ordered for Austin.
Yeah, I hope so. I know this. Right fielder, he struggled with how long, but if he had the Braves Vision glasses that we were rocking up here,
would have been easier. Maybe Carpenter will come back on May 17th and grab him.
Send him a pair.
He'll go keep score with Wiley before the game when Wiley teaches
Learn
the
class.
Yeah,
that should be interesting.
Wiley teaching America's youth.
Yep. Make sure my kids miss that one.
Third matchup here between Dubon and Valdez. Dubon hit by the pitch in the second. RBI single in the third. Gives this a decent ride. Green has a long way to go, but he'll get there. Nothing like looking over your shoulder and seeing Gretchen Caney in here.
Boss man right here, you know. Makes me nervous.
Gretchen, can we show the people what you look like? She's saying no. She wants to hide off camera. I'm not kidding you. In this role over the last few years, I bet I have been asked 20 times. You know, we hear about Gretchen. What does Gretchen look like? And she won't do it.
Oh, now she's going to leave.
She's leaving the booth.
You embarrassed her.
She is leaving the booth. Maybe she's going down to the truck. Our tech manager Nick Marks also back there. We got
everybody's firing.
Full house. They heard that there were fries and milkshakes.
Got to fuel up.
Yeah, long flight. Not for you. You got a coach tonight. Kinley warming up. Elder threw 6. Did wobble a little bit there in the 6th, giving up the first run.
This will probably be the end for Valdez, I would think, here at, what, 98 pitches now?
Yeah, they just got somebody up about 2 minutes ago, warming in that Tigers bullpen. But Valdez is going to get through 6. Both starters do. 2-1 Braves lead.
8:40 Eastern as the Braves take on the Rockies.
I feel like you could have given us a little more gusto. What is it?
It's Thursday, though. It's not Friday yet. I can't.
Okay.
Gave you everything
but
I
you're
needed.
not working the Friday night show.
I'll call in.
You phone into the open with CJ and I just to do that? All right.
Yeah, 8:40 Eastern. I'll be home.
Maybe. We'll see. You'll probably be in the pool. Hey, Kinley takes over. Hat tip to Bryce Elder. He does it again. He gets through 6, only gives up 1 run. Continuing his strong start to the season, and now he turns it over to the bullpen here in the 7th inning. Just love Frenchie.
Just another ho-hum start for Bryce Elder.
That's a good way to put it. Just kind of continues to go about his business. Jake Rogers puts this slider high into the sky. In foul territory, there's Riley. So Rogers 0 for 3. For Tyler Kinley, you go back to July 31st of last year. That's when the Braves got him. In that time span, he has a .95 ERA. That's the best in baseball for anybody who's thrown 35 or more innings, which is a lot of different pitchers. That's how effective Kinley has been for the Atlanta Braves. Now he's got to face the top of the order and McGonigal. We'll see how it plays out, but you got Kinley going now. Now Lee returned yesterday, did throw an inning at 2/3, and of course Suarez ready at the back end of the bullpen with Iglesias on the IL.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to use Dylan Lee or stay away from him. You know, you got Suarez for the 9th.
Got the call. Now both teams have both challenges, but nothing there. There's Raisel Iglesias.
Just chilling.
He's enjoying it. And the good news is when he's eligible to come off the IL, should return that day or closely thereafter, he has resumed throwing. Hey, stay tuned for the stretch. Like Raisel stretching out there with the arms, fueled by Georgia Natural Gas. Three-2 from Kinley here to McGonigal. If you've been watching this series, yeah, it's just rinse and repeat here with McGonigal. Every count's 3-2.
We got about 100 pitches today between Elder and Kinley now, and I think McGonigal's probably 30 of them.
He did have a quick at bat in the 5th when he flew out, but outside of that, everything's been a struggle for the opposing pitchers. And there's another foul. Ninth pitch of the at bat. And there will be a 10th. Now McGonigal is in quite a bit of pain here. He did something similar 2 nights ago on a foul ball like that, but this one looks like it hurt significantly more.
He got this one off the knee, didn't he? Yeah, the kneecap.
He is trying to walk it off, but he is in a lot of pain. This is the consensus #2 prospect in baseball behind Pittsburgh's Connor Griffin. He prides himself on being tough. He grew up in the Philly area, modeled his game after Chase Utley, 6-time All-Star, and he said what he loved about Utley was how hard-nosed he was, how he liked to be out there every day, and sure enough, McGonigal's going to stay in here.
Yeah, you got to. You're 22.
21.
21, yeah, sorry. You can't come out of the game.
You're 31, you might let it slide. He said one of his earliest memories, McGonigal, was when the Phillies won that 2008 World Series. He went into his kitchen and started banging pots and pans together.
Okay. Whatever makes it work.
So, loved baseball from a young age. 3-2 pitch. And after all of that, he gets walked. We'll see how he's moving. A message here from Delta.
From Braves country to the world. Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
Well, I think you're seeing why he's so valuable too. 0 for 2 today, but 2 walks, right? Like just always on base.
He sets the table for A.J. Hinch. He represents the tying run.
Batter is challenging the call of strike, a ball.
So a challenge here by the Braves.
Oh.
Or rather, Tigers challenge, I should say, against the call.
Call is overturned.
Man, that was close.
1/10 of an inch. 1-0. Torres a pair of singles. He tried to get a double last time up, but he was thrown out at second by Acuna. Now, is he going to challenge that? Because that,
wow, can't believe
more than 1/10 of an inch there.
Yes, that's might have been a foot.
Well, I think your measurements might be off.
At least 3 or 4 inches.
Now you're in the zone. Over to the right side, and Ozzie can't get to it. So you got 2 on here. That's a 3-hit game for Torres. Tying run at second. Nobody throwing right now for the Braves.
And it's right off the end of the bat. Perfect placement. I would think this situation right here might show you that Dylan Lee is not available today.
Yeah, I mean, he threw 28 pitches yesterday. This will be the 18th pitch for Kenley as he deals to Colt Keith. Send a bouncer like that to second base, please. Bouncer that is to second, but it's slow, and Keith beats it out. Mateo coming across the bag to try to make the play, but now you've got the bases loaded with 1 out.
Well, like anything, that was a close play at first, but you lost your challenge already. That was one of those, I think Mateo. And he beat it. I think Mateo thought he was going to have time to get it and tag the runner, and it just never got there.
So the Braves led 2-0. The Tigers got one last inning, and now they've got the bases juiced here in the 7th. Green fouls away the slider. Now Pyops is up.
And man, you'd love to get a double play something here, but worst case, just get out of this with only one damage control.
Oh, and 2, so he's got Green where he wants him. We mentioned it earlier when Green struck out in the 3rd. He's got a lot of swing and miss in his game, over 200 strikeouts last year. First player in Tigers history with 200 strikeouts in a season. But you got to be careful because he can pop one. Oh, 2. Kenley struck him out with a good curveball down.
Man, talk about making the pitch at the perfect time. That ball had some serious bite to it. Like you said, you know, Riley Green is a good hitter, all-star last year. You had the right guy from a strikeout perspective up. Now you got a chance to get this guy and preserve that 2-1 lead.
And that guy is Torkelson at the plate. Kenley first pitch is in there. All 3 games in this series pretty close. 5-2 Tuesday. Of course, the walk-off win yesterday, and now another one-run game here. 2-1 in the 7th. A hair high on the slider. McGonigal at 3rd, Torres 2nd, Keith at 1st. Tigers trying to turn around their fortunes. They've lost 4 of 5. And this one going way foul, 1-2. What do you think, Frenchie? Something spinning down?
Yeah, I mean, he's thrown 3 in a row. You throw 96, maybe bust a heater one time.
Try to get it up.
Maybe elevate. Then if you miss there, you can come back. But slider is his pitch.
1-2. And he went curveball and inside.
The old backup curve.
Biggest spot in this ball game right here. 2 down, bases loaded. 2-2 pitch from Kenley. Line to left, but it hangs in the air for Dubon. Kenley gets out of it, and the Braves hang on to the lead 2-1. And with that, we send you to a happy stretch.
Guy in the right spot at the right time.
And Bryce had a good day to start it all out. 6 innings, 1 run, Frenchie.
Yeah, he was outstanding, man. It's just he got traffic, but he was able to make pitches when he wanted. You heard Wiley talk about that fastball elevated. Got huge strikeout on Carpenter on that pitch there in the 6th. And he said 6 more outs and get him a win.
Get on the flight out.
Get y'all on the bird.
And with a sweep, if you win this, you're 23-9. Yastrzemski, by the way, is going to pinch hit here for Mateo.
You get a big steak tonight?
Not sure what's going to happen out there. We will, with the 2-hour time change, have a chance at dinner.
Yeah.
Got any recommendations?
Plenty. The old Chop House in Denver.
You like that?
Watch the NCAA finals there in 08. Wasn't that the year Memphis won?
Kansas, Memphis, I believe. Yeah. Drew Anderson, after Valdez went 6, gave up 2 and struck out 8. Anderson is on. You can see he's had a couple of rough outings this year. 6.60 ERA. It was Kansas that beat Memphis that year. Memphis almost won.
Yes.
Yes, hits a 2-2 fair. And covering Anderson. 3-1 on your scorecard, 1 down. And their bullpen, outside of really Kyle Finnegan, has had its issues. The 3 blown saves by Kenley Jansen. Look at the last 9 here, Fritchie.
Yeah, I know. And you look at it 2 years ago, you know, that was the strength of that ball club, man. Their bullpen was so, again, though, if you don't get length out of your starters and those guys have to throw so many innings, it catches up at times. And because of some of these teams not getting length from starters, those guys are just thrust into action way more than you want to. And, you know, it's like today for Walt, right? It could have been very easy, even for this 8th inning coming up, to say, hey, I'm going Dylan Lee. Threw 28 pitches. He missed a game with paternity leave. And so he making that decision to make sure he's rested. And those aren't easy. And I'm sure it's easier when you're 22-9, right?
Yeah, if you're 9-22, you're thinking a lot differently. Even if you're 500,
yeah,
you're
thinking we're this Detroit team right now. You know, so Penn, half the battle's protecting the arms.
And the Penn 3 2/3 scoreless for Atlanta last night, and then that all set the stage for Kenley Jansen blowing the save on the Olsen homer. Pyop's getting ready for the 8th. Two-two changeup, and Eli White is down on strikes. Well, that AL Central, the Tigers, the odds-on favorite coming into the season. Right now, they're a game back of the Guardians, but the Guardians haven't been overly impressive so far this year either.
No, I think you feel like that division's up for grabs. American League in itself has been very weird this year. The whole West is up for grabs.
Yankees off to a good start.
Yeah, Yankees are the one team.
This is going to be extra bases for Ronald Acuna Jr. That's his 3rd double of the series, and it extends his on-base streak for Acuna now to 21 games.
See that pitch down below the zone, but Ronald does a good job of waiting for it to get there and just drives it right down the 3rd baseline. Even if Lee makes that play, he's not throwing him out, but now with Ronald's speed out there, 2 outs. This would be a huge insurance run.
Baldwin 1 for 3. $25 driven in on the year for Baldwin, 2nd most on the team behind Matt Olson's 28. I don't know that Drew Anderson, though, is interested in giving Baldwin much to hit here.
Honestly surprised I haven't put him on yet.
It would be Ozzie.
I think they are now. He's pointing down there.
Yeah, and then you're going to take your chances with Ozzie from the left side.
But you're just not going to get Drake to expand right there. So we said that. Why leave it in the pitcher's hands to do something stupid and hang something?
Ozzie continued his good hitting earlier today. A single in the 1st, a double in the 3rd. And Chris Fetter's going to have a meeting out here with Anderson. They're stretching in the Tigers' pen, but nobody is throwing right now.
Get a little 7th inning stretch.
We had some good Cracker Jack tosses. Did you get one over to the other booth?
I got one to Benetti, hit him again.
Nice.
Although he was ready for it today.
You hit him right in the gut yesterday.
Yesterday I smoked him.
Such a good guy.
It's great. He's excited, you know, doing the Sunday night package. The Rangers are coming into town in Detroit, so he gets to do the Rangers-Tigers Sunday night.
Well, home game for him. Curveball there to Ozzie.
He's doing a great job with that Sunday night package.
Oh, he's tremendous. We are lucky to count Jason Benetti as a friend, and I've said it before. He's my age. He's your age, too. We're all the same age. But when it's all said and done, he'll go down as there he is on the right. One of the best to ever do it.
The best sense of humor, too.
Unbelievable. The wit on that guy.
You know, if you're Anderson here, though, you got to, if you're Ozzie, get ready here, because the last thing he wants to do is load the bases for Matt Olson. Should get a good pitch to hit.
2 balls, 1 strike. He got something. 2-2. Drew Anderson, a guy we mentioned it the other day, has been around a long time. Debuted in 2017, but then back to the minors, and he went and pitched in Japan, Korea, and now on a deal with the Tigers starting this season. Ozzie bouncer to the right side. They scramble around and make the play. Braves strand 2. It remains a 1-run ball game after 7.
Early. Well, after this trip, the Braves have just 1 West Coast swing remaining, and that's the last week of June. So come July 1, the Braves are done with the long time. What's the name of the time zone? Why am I blanking?
Pacific.
Pacific.
Yeah,
there it is.
It's
Look
out.
at that.
It's out west.
You got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, we start in the mountain time.
You go to
zone.
Central, then you go to Mountain, which is Colorado, and then you finish in the Pacific.
But what is Arizona? Doesn't Arizona do something weird?
Well, they just don't have time change.
See, I like
so,
that. That makes it easy.
Yeah. So they stay the same.
Thanks. I hope kids are watching. I'm sure they feel very educated if they're not at school. But the point is well taken. It's similar to last year. And I remember Wiley and I having the discussion last year. This ball's tagged pretty good to center. Eli White on his horse, and he can't get to it. Bounces off the wall. There might be a play at third here. Gets by Riley. Payamps backs it up. But just like that, a triple for Kerry Carpenter, and the tying run at third with nobody out.
Man, Eli White had a great read on this ball, Brandon, and it's one of those just at the last second. He knew that wall was right there. You can see he had that beat, and he was actually there. You just see the ball, the wall's right there. I mean, it's such a tough play.
Would have been close, but looks like Carpenter's safe even if Riley gets that. Now the infield in, bouncer, fair, and this game is tied. But that's also going to put Vierling at second. RBI double. And this game has changed very quickly here in the 8th inning.
So we were talking about some of those tack-on runs at some point to give you a little breathing room. And this is just one of those bad luck, to be honest with you. You got the infield somewhat in, and that hard ground in front of the plate, the ball just bounces on you.
So Kenley was able to get out of the jam in the 7th, bring in Payamps, and a triple and a double later, and it's 2-2. Corner infield leaking in, thinking that Lee might bunt here. Yastrzemski, by the way, with Mateo going out of the game, Yaz out in left, and then Dubon moves from left to short. And Payamps 3-0. And if you weren't with us earlier, we talked about Dylan Lee threw 28 pitches yesterday, so the Braves trying to avoid using him today. This one's going to go foul and bounce off the net. 3-2 here to Lee. Now Bummer just got back up.
And about to turn that lineup back over to leadoff hitter.
Yeah, probably getting him ready for McGonigal.
Yep.
Rogers on deck. Lee walks here, so the first 3 have reached. They're going to pinch hit for Rogers. Dylan Dingler, the better hitting of the 2 catchers, is going to replace Rogers here.
And you're going to bring him on, and this would be a situation you would think with the way McGonigal is able to put the ball in play. You might have a bunt. Though I know it's a lost start in the game today.
I thought Lee might do it, but definitely think Dingler might. We'll see. So on his day off, Dingler, the top catcher for the Tigers, is called into action here in a tie game in the 8th.
No sign of it there. Coming fresh off the bench like this, ground ball, maybe get yourself a double play. Just did you a favor.
Well, if he did bunt and got runners at second and third, Braves would think maybe about walking McGonigal, load the bases.
But Gleyber Torres, veteran,
Yeah,
been
right.
around a long time, right? You trust him. 3 hits today.
Yep.
You can see trying to throw that hard sinker in there. Wants to get him to roll over to either Austin or Dubon at short.
Three balls and 1 strike. A triple, a double, and a walk so far here against Payams. And now a 3-2 count.
And I can tell you what's coming now. Sinker.
It's all about location, right?
Yep.
Dingler was 0 for 4 yesterday. Pinch hitting here.
To the sweeper.
And Dingler fouls it away. Dingler, the Gold Glover last year. Primary catcher for the 2nd straight season for the Tigers. And he is caught looking. Thought he might challenge it. They've got both of them here in the 8th, but it looked like it was a strike. That's a big out.
I think he just gave up on it. Yeah, you can see him setting up away.
And that will be it for Payams with McGonigal coming to the plate. Walt Weiss is going to turn. He does get the strikeout there of Dingler. He leaves. And now you got Bummer coming on here to face McGonigal.
And that was a huge strikeout. I know it's not the outing he wanted, but bases loaded with no outs coming in this situation is a little different. Especially the game tied at 2.
Bummer came on 2 nights ago, gave up a 2-run homer, but the Braves would still win 5-2. A little bit different here, much more high leverage situation for the lefty.
And he's going to have to come at him because you're not going to get him to chase outside the zone too much.
Already 2 walks today for McGonigal. And he's not going after that. 2-0. Gleyber Torres on deck, and he has a 3-hit ball game going right now. Nowhere near. 4-pitch walk, bases loaded. 3 walks today for McGonigal. And a hot hitting Gleyber Torres is going to try to give the Tigers the lead here in the 8th inning.
Those were 4 pitches nowhere near the zone.
And another one. Braves led 2-0, but the Tigers have tied it here in the 8th. And a golden chance for them to take the lead as Bummer does find the strike zone. They're 1-1. Out to center. White takes it. Tagging at third, Vierling. He will score. As the throw goes to third, and the Tigers are in front 3-2.
Well, it was a smart job by Eli White to go to third. It's kind of flat-footed the way that ball was hit, and good speed at third. Got it in on him a little bit, but enough to get it out there, and you can see at this point, you want to let Lee get to third.
So 2 runs home here to give the Tigers the lead in this ball game right now, looking a lot like last night's ball game. As Jahmai Jones is going to pitch hit here for Keith. So now it's about damage control, trying to keep it 3-2, and then you've got Matt Olson leading off the bottom of this inning.
I think you have your answer to it. The lead. You don't see anybody warming up, which to me means Anderson's coming back for the 8th and probably Finnegan for the 9th.
We discussed earlier about with Kenley Jansen's recent struggles, Finnegan with his closing experience. I think that might be his spot for the foreseeable future. We'll see how A.J. Hinch plays it out. Jahmai Jones, 1-2 count for the Braves. Suarez is getting ready. Not Robert, Jose. Jahmai Jones is a Georgia kid, born in Roswell, high school baseball at Wesleyan and Peachtree Corners. And he bounces this foul. Jones was a 2nd-round pick by the Angels back in 2015. Brief debut with the Angels in 2020, and then he's bounced around quite a bit. Parts of 6 seasons with 5 different teams. Bummer able to get him with a 4-seam fastball. Tigers on top. Matt Olson will lead off the bottom of the 8th. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Well, yesterday when we headed to the bottom of the 8th, it was 3-2 Tigers, and after they got 2 in the top half, same thing. And yesterday's hero Matt Olson leading off the bottom of the 8th. Dingler remains in the game as the catcher here, and as we said, it's Drew Anderson back out there for another inning on the mound. Matt buries that into the ground, sends it to second base. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Austin Riley 0 for 3 today, still hitless in the series. See if he wants to challenge that. He doesn't. Both challenges for the Tigers and the Braves remaining. Riley rips it. Oh, just foul.
And that's when it's not going your way, that's what happens. You finally square one up, and it's about a half a foot from being a double. Look at that.
The one Tigers fan down there celebrating. So now a ball and 2 strikes. And that one clips the top of the zone. And unfortunately for Riley, the frustration continues. 2 down. I don't know. Hey, join the A-list season ticket waitlist, Braves.com/waitlist. That's where it's at to be a part of the action, or at least wait to be a part of the action. Two down here. Dubano had an RBI single back in the 3rd at the plate for the Braves. Well, maybe the Bravos just want more bottom of the 9th drama, Frenchie.
Yeah. Did it last night.
Double barrel Suarez, Robert and Jose. Lefty righty warming for Atlanta. This should send us to the 9th. Backing up, Torres takes it. Run ball game as we start the 9th inning. You saw both Suarez's warming up. Robert was ready if the Braves were able to tie or take the lead, but instead Jose Suarez comes on here to face the middle part of the order.
Important right here to try to keep this. We saw what happened last night when it's only a 1-run lead. Got that time run coming up right off the bat. So quick 1, 2, 3 inning.
Starting with Riley Green.
Yeah, good challenge.
Yeah, you got 2 left, 9th inning.
Catcher is challenging the call of ball.
Yep. Just enough.
Call is overturned. Atlanta have 2 more challenges remaining.
So Drake Baldwin getting his new hurler to an 0-1 count. And now 0-2. And a called strike on the outside corner.
Frozen pizza.
Yeah, a delayed frozen pizza there. It's almost as if
I think
he thought it was strike 2.
I think so.
Let's see. Yeah, I think Roberto Ortiz maybe thought it was strike 2. I don't know.
He's just got to work on that strike 3 call a little more. I need a little more oomph to it.
3 strikeouts for Green today.
3 strikeouts, 2 walks.
Doesn't put the ball in play. He does have a homer in the series, but he's back to the dugout now, and here's Torkelson. It is Finnegan, as we suspected, for the bottom of the 9th. He'll try to do what Kenley Jansen failed to do last night and close it out for the Tigers. Well, Kenley's been vocal about wanting to play a few more years and get to 500 saves. But at 38, starting to slow down a little bit. He's 17 saves away from 500.
Tough thing too. Sometimes you might be able to get that later in your career if you go to a team that is struggling or will give you that thing. But for Detroit, like you said, each game is very, very important. Trying to win that division.
No doubt. As we talked about yesterday, that they're in win now mode in the Motor City. Hoping to win that division for the first time in 12 years. A.J. Hinch, while it was much talked about then and since, does have his World Series title from 2017 with Houston over the Dodgers. And then suspended in 2020 for violating Major League Baseball policies relating to the sign stealing scandal, and ultimately now in his 6th year with the Detroit Tigers. Still not that old. He'll be 52 in a couple of weeks. 3-2 changeup that gets Torkelson. So back-to-back strikeouts for Suarez.
This is where again A.J. Hinch is able to go to the bench and Sal Perez to hit for Carpenter. But good start here for Suarez with those 2 punch outs.
Well, thinking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, due up is Farmer, Yastrzemski, and Eli White, but would have to think that if Finnegan comes on, you'd see Dom Smith lead off for Atlanta.
You could see Michael Harris.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's a good point. I was going to say if they are.
Depends what I think we'll know.
Yeah.
How it's really feeling, right? If he doesn't come in to hit, then
that tells you that quad is problematic right
barking.
now. Yeah. And Michael Harris does have a homer against Finnegan when those two have squared off in their careers.
I think that's him there, isn't it, with his batting gloves on?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yep.
Suarez trying to strike out the side here. Perez, the pinch hitter, awaiting a 1-2. Down and away. Perez had the homer a couple of nights ago that ruined the Braves shutout. Yeah, so you then go Yastrzemski, and then you could put Dom Smith in place of Eli White. You could go lefty, lefty, lefty coming up against Finnegan in the bottom of the 9th. We'll see how Walt Weiss plays it out.
Probably see Harris hit for Farmer.
Yeah. And then Smith may be down for White.
Usually try to do that. A guy like Smith, try to see if you can get him up with a guy on.
Yeah. Now, if you use both of those guys, if you go to extras, you're down to Jonah Heim on your bench. But we'll see how all this plays out.
Yeah, you don't worry about that.
Yeah. Just walk it off in the 9th.
Yep, then you're all right.
Here comes the payoff pitch with 2 down. And low and inside, so Perez is able to come back and earn a walk. Gives an opportunity to Matt Vierling. Former 5th-round pick by the Phillies, who played at Notre Dame for the Fighting Irish. He had a big RBI double last inning. A bouncer down the third base line. He hits it that direction again, off of Riley and out to left field. Oh, and it gets by Yastrzemski, and both runners jump up, and now we might have a play at the plate. And quick base running by Perez in a disastrous sequence for Atlanta gives the Tigers a 4-2 lead.
And this is where it's all about communication. So tough ball for Riley, obviously, and then Yastrzemski kind of overruns this, but DeBond's got his back turned here, right? And so right here, give credit to Joey Cora over there at third base. Just sent him, and see how DeBond held the ball for a second. He turns around and cranks that right away, probably gets him.
Perez showing off the great speed. So instead of runners at first and second, Perez comes all the way around, and a huge insurance run for Detroit. And the first error of the game by either side goes to Mike Yastrzemski. And you're a strike away from striking out the side, and then just like that, wind out of their sails.
It's not going to make Walt happy. That's where it gets sloppy, and something the Braves have not done this year much.
Two balls and 2 strikes here to Hao-Yu Lee. And a full count. Yeah, Dingler, the catcher, pretty good hitter on deck. Nobody warming for the Braves. Suarez is going to finish this thing out one way or the other. Free pass for Lee.
And that's the hard thing too, Brandon, sometimes like this, when you got a guy struck out 2, walked 2, your defense starts to get on their heels a little bit, a slower pace.
Drake Baldwin going to talk to Jose Suarez. Now the Braves came into today going for the sweep. They got a run in the second, a run in the third. Bryce Elder went 6, only gave up 1, but then a couple of runs in the 8th and 1 more and counting here in the 9th for the Tigers to have this 4-2 lead.
There's too many innings kind of playing with fire with traffic out there. You felt like a matter of time before someone snuck one in there somewhere.
And the Tigers have tied their season high with 12 left on base, but yet they're up by a pair. Dingler, I'm surprised he didn't challenge that.
Finally got one wrong last night. Maybe he's a little gun shy.
31st pitch of the inning here for Suarez. If it's fair, it's big time trouble, and it is fair for Diggler. They are going to circle the bases. One is home. They're going to try for two. Throw to the plate. They got him. Lee trying to score from first, but he will not. But another insurance run. 5-2. Let's see if the Tigers want to challenge them. 2. Tigers trying to make it 6-2, but the Braves were able to get the out at the plate here.
Yeah, good relay here. And see that time, Dubon got it, turned around right away. Probably doing a good job by Drake, of course, making sure he dropped that tag right on the hand. Get out of that inning.
It will be Michael Harris coming into pinch hit here to start things off. And on the mound, it is Kyle Finnegan. 112 career saves, all the time with the Nationals. Came to Detroit at last year's deadline. Spectacular this season. With Jansen struggling as the closer and blowing another save last night, they turn to Finnegan here on Thursday. Well, even if the Braves do lose this, still at 22-10, and still have not lost a series on the season heading out west.
I was finally talking to Walt Tuesday. He said, I'm a little worried about the bullpen. And especially coming in with Iglesias out, Dylan Lee on the paternity leave. And this is that one game you can kind of see it. Usually 2-1 going to the 7th. You're set up with what you want. Just don't have the ammo right now.
Yeah. I think not having Iglesias healthy and then Lee down. So you had Kinley in the 7th, but in the 8th, unfortunately, Payams ran into a little bit of trouble. And then Bummer. Saw Michael wincing a little bit yesterday after he sprinted into the gap to make a catch. Still trying to get back to 100% with that quad, but good enough to come in here and pinch hit.
That's a great sign.
Full count. Finnegan with a payoff pitch to Harris. Fouls away 95. Tigers, all their struggles have come away from home. 5-14 on the road this year, trying to steal one here before they get out of town and head back to Detroit. And this should be the first out. Green settles and takes. Well, looking ahead for the Braves as Dom Smith has grabbed a bat in the on deck circle. Grant Holmes will start tomorrow against Jose Quintana. Chris Sale Saturday. Colorado right now has a TBA for that date for their starter. And then Sunday it'll be Strider against Kyle Freeland. And that'll be big on Sunday and Strider's debut for the 2026 campaign.
It'd be fun to see him get out there. Much anticipated.
And as we said yesterday, if that fastball looks as it did in AAA, and no reason to believe it wouldn't,
yeah,
could be good things here for Spencer. 3-1 to Yastrzemski.
AJ Hinch is over there. Just give me 2 outs and get me out of
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
He's ready to get out of here. Ozzie. A 1-out single.
Yeah, and he knows exactly what's coming up. Now you got one of the best pinch hitters in baseball coming up in Dom Smith. You turn it over to Ronald and Drake. So, and they're fresh off that memory of about 16 hours ago.
Yep, it was around 10 o'clock last night that Matt Olson put it in the right center field bullpen for a 4-3 victory. Still a ways to go until the Braves get to Olson. And Dom Smith gets underneath the slider from Finnegan. Perez stayed in the game out there in right field. He makes the catch. 2 down. It's going to take some 2-out magic for another walk-off win. The Braves haven't had back-to-back walk-off wins since 2017, September of that year against the Marlins.
Walked off the Fighting Fish 2 nights in a row.
On the 9th and 10th. They'll let Yastrzemski take second base. Ronald doubled it last time up. The Rockies today lost to the Reds, so the Braves will go out there and face a Rockies club that's 14-18 for that 3-game series starting tomorrow. 1-2.
They do seem to be playing better, though.
Yes, I think better than people anticipated. Of course, a lot of people will be waiting that highly anticipated battle at Dodger Stadium.
Yep.
To finish off the road trip. Mariners in between. They're playing 500 ball right now in Seattle. Ronald's going to challenge it. I think that's going to be the ball game.
Yeah. Painted this one kind of low and away.
And Detroit is able to salvage the series by winning game 3 5-2.
Hey, thought you had a chance here, you know, in the 8th, and it just didn't go your way. But again, 4-2 homestand against 2 quality teams. Team continues to stack up wins. Tough one here, but they should feel good about the way they're playing going out west right now.
Absolutely. 22 wins, most in baseball. But
safe flight, Pop.
Thanks. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks.
Yeah. Frenchie's coaching softball. We'll be back in a moment here to Truist.